but do a lot and their deeds are seen.
Kenyatta hailed the fallen CS as a servant of people, saying his nature did not bother him when he rattled so long as he spoke his truth.
When Professor Magoha stepped in the room, you knew a leader had arrived. When there was an argument, you predicted Professor Magoha's side even before the argument began. The side would be where the facts are, where the truth is. That is Magoha's side.
His visit was seen as a reunion of his former cabinet and PSS who served in the former administration, hailing Magoha as an instrumental in transforming the Ministry of Education.
When I made him a minister, I made the right choice in putting at the helm of education a man who deserved that position, and from there continued to do what he did.
Professor Magoha was the turbo engine, and my colleagues can bear me out. Professor is the one who charged the room. Every time we were in the room, he's the one who supplied the energy.
The former president assured the bereaved family of his unwavering support as they prepare to give the fallen academic giant a befitting send-off.
With us, you have a family, because we were a family. And we will continue to stand with you. And whatever it is that you may require of us, you can count on us.
He always said family came first. He believed in family. From the first day, he said, if I'm up and my family is down, then I'm down.
Let those of us who are still alive emulate George by carrying on the good work he had done for the country and for mankind in general.
If there is anything we can do in this world as a tribute to Professor Magoha, in our small way, wherever life takes us, wherever life finds us, we just try to emulate that thing. Honest, sincere delivery of service to the people.
The former education CS who died suddenly on Tuesday, January 24th at the Nairobi hospital, will be buried on Saturday the 11th at his rural home in Siaya. Ruth Wamboy for Prime Edition.
Glowing tributes there coming from to the late Professor Magoha, coming from the former President Uhuru Kenyatta and former CS Interior Fred Matiang'i, and his wife and his brother. But let's look at the state of security now in the northern frontier, where 4 people, among them 2 pupils, have been injured following attacks at the Nakuse and Lokwar areas in Turkana South. A number of houses and a school were torched by the attackers, allegedly from a neighboring community. The incident comes just a few days, by the way, after Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki toured the region. Turkana County Commissioner Jacob Ouma has assured the residents of enhanced protection, and he's saying that, you know, more security officers have been deployed to that area to deal with those criminal elements within that space.
Zizi hatujui penye tunaenda. Na hawa watu wenye wanabeba mizigo hawa, watuelewi wanaenda wapi.
Mimi nataka niame nitoke. Niende kwa sababu hana hatia yeyote ile ambaye nitaweza pale kuchikilia pale kwa sababu wameshachoma.
Hawa wamepigwa risasi, huyu amepigwa risasi na karibu hata kuuawa. Ni Mungu tu ndiye amewasaidia.
From the Turkana bandit attacks, let's take you straight into the corridors of justice. A section of Azimio la Umoja Kenya Alliance politicians, led by Nairobi County Assembly Majority Leader Peter Imwatok, has dared the state to arrest their party leaders Raila Odinga, Martha Karua, Kalonzo Musyoka, among others, and stop going after what they term as the small fish. The leaders made the statement after Korogosho member of County Assembly Absalom Odhiambo was presented at the Milimani court by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, which is seeking to detain him for 7 days pending investigations.
Immediate former Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Chairperson Wafula Chebukati has responded to claims of a meeting between him and Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance leader Raila Odinga before the presidential election results announcement. Chebukati now wants the video of the alleged visit to Raila's house, where he was allegedly accompanied by former commissioners Professor Abdigulie and Boyamolu, provided within 7 days. Through his lawyer Steve Ogola, Chebukati is threatening to sue the former Prime Minister, saying the allegations have the effect of lowering his dignity and injuring his reputation among the right-minded society. Meanwhile, a section of Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance politicians, led by Nairobi County Assembly Majority Leader Peter Imotok, has dared the state to arrest their party leaders Raila Odinga, Martha Karua, Kalonzo Musyoka, among others, and stop going after what they term as the small fish.
We ask the state actors to arrest one called Raila Amolo Odinga. That's what we are daring them. Stop arresting small fish. We have our father called Raila Amolo Odinga. Arrest him. Together with Martha Karua, arrest her. Together with Kalonzo Musyoka, arrest him. Together with Oparanya, arrest him. And then we see how it plays out.
The leaders made the statement after Korogocho member of County Assembly Absalom Odhiambo was presented at the Milimani Law Courts. The Directorate of Criminal Investigations has filed a miscellaneous application seeking to detain him for 7 days on grounds of incitement to violence and violation of the law. Odhiambo, through his lawyers, opposed the application, terming it political.
However, what you've not been informed is that he was arrested at the NCIC building while he was honoring a summon.
We do not have a holding charge to suggest why in the first place the respondent continues to be detained.
I happened to defend 5 cabinet ministers right now who are charged of civil offenses. Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria was here over the same allegations. He graduated out of this dock to be a CS. Cabinet Secretary Aisha Juma was here, the Pangani 6. She graduated to be there. And many more. You are being used on the question of politics.
The defense further urged the court to be independent and fair. Magistrate Gilbert Shikwe will deliver a ruling on Wednesday, the 1st of February 2023. Odhiambo was arrested on Monday, the 30th of January 2023, following remarks he made during Sunday's Azimio rally at Jacaranda Grounds in Nairobi. Seraphine Nairobi for Prime Edition.
7 current and former Nakuru County officials have been arrested over the irregular awarding of a 7.9 million shilling tender for the construction of Karatina Market. Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission says that 3 more suspects were being pursued in relation to those allegations. The 7 include the daughter of former Bahati Member of Parliament Kimani Ngunjiri, Edith Wajiro, who served as the Chief Officer for Trade, Industrialization and Tourism under former Governor Lee Kenyanjui's administration. Those still employed by the county include Procurement Officer Jackson Maingi and Ann Njeri, Accountant Nixon Kibet, and Tourism Officer Florence Karanja, who worked under the Trade Department. The EACC also arrested Edith Wangari and Jen Joki, who are directors of Levy Contractors. The company awarded the tender. EACC South Rift Regional Director Ignatius Wekesa stated that the contractor was not registered with the National Construction Authority, NCA, and failed to submit a valid tax compliance certificate, with investigations revealing, by the way, that its certificate had expired before the tendering process.
And at the end of the investigations, sometimes in November, we forwarded the file to DPP with recommendations to charge various officers of the county government, especially Minister of Trade, and the contractors who are awarded the tender, namely Levy Contractors Limited. And today we have managed to arrest 7 of them. And I'm also warning the contractors these so-called proof case contractors who don't have the requisite documentation to enable them and the capacity to enable them to perform jobs, and yet they are all over trying to bid for contracts which they are very much aware that they cannot deliver.
Now, the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union has issued a 60-day ultimatum for government to implement the 2017 collective bargaining agreement led by their Secretary General, Dr. Davji Atela. The union says that they are resuscitating their initial decision to call for industrial action due to the challenges that are facing the healthcare providers.
Solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong.
Poor remuneration, disparity in doctor-to-patient ratios, unemployment, long working hours, and poor working conditions are some of the challenges which caregivers in the country go through.
Because you can't have a country where every month we have to go to the streets to get our salaries. I know counties where people are not paid for 2 months, where you have loan deductions on your pay slip and they don't remit to the banks. In CRB, doctors are like the highest number of civil servants. You don't have a medical cover.
This state has reportedly sunk some health caregivers into depression and poverty.
In a suicide note, he wrote to the sister, Dr. Mogi described his desperations not being able to find employment and the sorrows of watching his poor family struggle months after completing his internship.
The recent case being reported from Kangundo constituency, Machakos County, where a graduate doctor took his own life on 23rd of January 2023.
Daktari represents the hundreds of our bright brothers and sisters who, after toiling for years training to be medics, have found themselves either unemployed or underemployed or working under precarious contracts that don't offer them any protection.
The Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union, KMPDU, is faulting county governments for breaching the Public Service Commission employment terms.
Employ doctors, give doctors space to have discussions, remunerate doctors on time, promote doctors, and they need to be promoted just like all workers.
If some of the issues are not raising here will not be implemented, we'll shut down. We'd rather stay home with our colleagues than pretend that we are working and we are just watching patients die.
The KMPDU now says that most of its members are faced by a myriad of challenges which are contained in the 2017 collective bargaining agreement. It is for this reason that they have given the government a 60-day grace period to honor that CBA, failure to which they will put down their tools on 5th of March 2023. Frederick Parsayo, reporting for Prime Edition, Nairobi.
Gender stereotyping and sexual harassment still rampant. Is it impeding career progression for women at the place work? Plus, retired President Uhuru Kenyatta calls for calm in the DRC. All that coming up after this short break. Stay with us.
Stop searching in wrong places. Billions in unclaimed cash and other assets are here for you. Unclaimed financial assets include bank accounts, insurance policies, and other financial assets belonging to people just like you. Don't let your assets remain unclaimed. Take a few minutes to check and see if you have any unclaimed financial assets. Claiming your assets is easy. Simply visit www.ufaa.go.ke, dial *361# or visit Huduma Center near you. Labda umeomoka na ujui? The Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. Receive, safeguard, reunite.
Nimesahau kucheza Loto Moto. Usisahau kucheza Loto Moto. Shinda milioni 2 kila siku kwenye M-Pesa. Chagua lipa na M-Pesa. Paybill number 757070. Account number andika neno Loto. Kisha weka star na nambari yako ya simu. Weka kiwango chochote cha pesa kuanzia shilingi 50 hadi 2000.
Aulali.
Lipa kisha subiri draw. Welala. Nitakutimizia ndoto zako. Milioni 2 usiamini. Ujumbe huu umeidhinishwa na BCLB.
The talented Miss Karun, former member of Camp Mula, aced her set with a fire performance. Time for BN of Sauti Sol came, and from the minute he stepped on stage, the crowd loved on him.
Twende kazi, ama ni aje?
Kiki Kuruka is seen telling a girl off because this girl was just all over BN.
I really hope they have a good reason.
I'm telling you, Mel, hawa watu ni wa dangerous.
I know.
Na mbona wachi kuwafuatafuata?
They shot my dad, Sitawa.
Mama? What? Yeye ndiye anafaa kuwa huko, si wewe.
Ama jamaa wakijua huko, unataka kuwa umejiingiza kwa noma bure. Na pia mimi utaniingiza kwa ngori.
Nishafika sawa. Sunipeleke kabla wajue niko huko.
I do not care. Do you understand me? Forget about it.
Welcome back. Our socials at KBC Channel 1, my Twitter handle at Tomboya24. Let's now look at that story of junior secondary school and school heads managing learning centers where the junior secondary schools are domiciled have been directed to admit grade 7 learners in their primary school uniforms as parents prepare to acquire the new ones. Kenya Institute of Curricular Development Director Professor Charles Ongondo, while overseeing distribution of learning materials in Kisumu County, also warned school heads against charging extra fees for the JSS admissions. Wycliffe Okech reports.
Tuesday morning at Migosi Primary School in Kisumu Central Sub-County, Kisumu County, one of the centers approved to host the junior secondary section in the sub-county. Professor Charles Ongondo, the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development Director, taking the newly admitted grade 7 learners through a question and answer and a passage reading lesson. It was here that Professor Ongondo issued the directive for junior secondary school heads to admit learners in their old school uniforms.
As you have seen, the school has accepted the children in their old uniform. They have new uniform, but they have told the parents that they can buy that gradually. So let no parent hold a child at home because they don't have new uniform.
Ongondo further warned that no extra fees should be imposed on parents other than the usual purchase of complementary learning materials, such as writing materials.
The government will be supplying books in all learning areas to all the learners. So we want to plead that no child is sent home supposedly to buy any books. So if you transfer a child, let it be on record that the child has been transferred to one school to another. That will help us even to know how many books to take to one school and also with the teacher demands.
At the same time, Professor Ongondo appealed for secondary school tutors neighboring JSS centers to volunteer and tutor technical lessons as the Teachers Service Commission finalizes the teachers' recruitment process.
We are also saying that where we don't have teachers in the special subjects, sharing between the primary, the junior secondary and the now what we can call senior secondary is allowed. Let the principal reach out to the neighboring schools through the sub-county director's office, and this will be resolved.
For Prime Edition, I am Wycliffe Okech.
The Institute for Women, African Women, that is, in law, is calling for a gender audit to address gender gaps in hiring, promotion and pay of women in the law profession. According to a report launched Tuesday at a Nairobi hotel, gender stereotyping, bias in the promotion criteria, as well as sexual harassment remains a barrier impeding the success of women in the profession. Chief Justice Martha Koome, who presided over the launch, however, noted that Kenya and African continent has made major steps in supporting the rise of women in the judiciary, even as she called on a collective approach towards reaching equity in representation.
According to the report that was done in Kenya, Nigeria, Senegal and South Africa, there is still low representation of women in leadership positions. This has, however, not dampened their efforts to rise above the stereotypes and claim to have spaces in the judiciary.
Our mothers, our sisters and mentors broke the barriers, but we must expand and stretch the spaces that limit our potential. May you seek to be extraordinary, and may you create ripples in this legal fraternity.
Africa leads in the world in the number of women chief justices than anywhere else in the world. Most people don't know this.
Chief Justice Martha Koome noting the tremendous success the Kenyan judicial system has made over the years, with over 21 delegations of judiciary from Africa coming to the country for benchmarking.
We are equal to the task, working together, shared leadership, where we realize that it is not only the Chief Justice, it is for all of us to make it work. So what I will leave is a legacy of a very strong judiciary that can withstand and support even our democracy.
In terms of challenges, the report further cites family demands, motherhood, caregiving and work-and-life balance as impediments. The report is recommending for the creation of policies to dismantle the multiple axes of gender-based discriminatory practices in the profession.
Even as we achieve formal equality, do we achieve actual equality?
I thought I had seen it all, having come from the Kenya government, the Kenyan judiciary, having come at the international judiciary. I was wrong, because now I'm doing work in South Sudan. I'm reforming the judiciary of South Sudan.
The stakeholders present agreed that the success of women in the sector calls for a collective approach and the availability of spaces and avenues for women to reach their maximum potential. Isufar reporting for Prime Edition.
I will ask all the judges present.
Retired President Uhuru Kenyatta has called for calm and immediate cessation of hostilities in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo that has seen serious escalation of fighting and targeted killings in Ituri as well as Northern Kivu. Kenyatta called for urgent return to dialogue and consultation in order to promote trust and confidence among the parties to the conflict.
In his capacity as the facilitator of the East African Community-led Nairobi process on the restoration of peace and stability in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, retired President Uhuru Kenyatta convened an urgent consultation meeting with technical advisors. The former president noting the deteriorating security situation, particularly in Ituri and North Kivu, following an escalation in fighting and targeted killings. Kenyatta calling for urgent return to dialogue and consultation in order to promote trust and confidence among parties and alleviate the suffering of the people of Eastern DRC. Noting the violation of the Nairobi Principles and the Luanda Agreement, Kenyatta has called on regional leaders and the international community to lend their political goodwill and support to the full realization of the East African Community-led Nairobi peace process. Nancy Okware, Prime Edition.
Kenya Industrial Research and Development Institute, KIRDI, has embarked on a process to reduce organic waste by training biodigester installers on best practices. KIRDI, in partnership with United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, has developed a biodigester calibrator to be used by installers in order to ensure that their installations are able to generate quality biogas.
Greenhouse gas emissions have been the biggest challenge to climate change mitigation, and in order to utilize biogas from household refuse, the Kenya Industrial Research and Development Institute, in collaboration with the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, is working with biodigester installers to develop biodigesters that will help to produce usable gas.
The aim of this project is to promote the conversion of waste to clean energy as an alternative source of electricity generation.
Speaking during the launch of a biogas lab and information-based practice platform, the KIRDI Director General Dr. Calvin Onyango said that the lab will be a training center for installers as well as users of biodigesters. He said that the move is important as the country works towards reducing greenhouse gas emissions, most of which come from household refuse.
A biogas project which actually is supposed to look at waste to energy practices in the industry. You realize that there's a lot of waste being introduced in the industry, in the market generally, and we are trying to look at ways of actually harnessing this waste and converting it into energy.
The project coordinator explained that different types of refuse produce different levels of gas, hence the need to ensure that only refuse that produces quality gas is used.
The platform, the information-based practice platform, is aimed at bringing all the stakeholders together in the biogas sector, from the academia, the research people, the policy makers, the financiers, because all these people are related, but they've been working in isolation.
So our project is basically mainly to help the industry and uplift the technology of biogas waste to energy conversions.
The installers welcome the move, noting that they now have a training area that will enable them to achieve better results.
We can be able to get a better biogas plant. We can walk the process with them so that in the next one that we are going to have, then we can have a more sustainable one.
Excited about it because it saves the health of the women in this country.
Looking forward to more information sharing with KIRDI and especially also reinforcement.
Very particularly important for the current generation because we are being accosted by all manner of challenges, especially on climate change.
Combating climate change involves a lot of initiative. With biogas in place being implemented in various parts of the country, then the 100% transition to clean energy would be possible. Opicho Chemtai for Prime Edition.
Now, an elderly man in Machakos County is seeking government intervention to reclaim his piece of land from grabbers. The man claims that he bought the piece of land over 40 years ago and that he's worried the land grabber is already moving in to fence a section of the land. This and more in our county news roundup.
According to 88-year-old Mulangilo Ndolo, he purchased the piece of land way back in 1982 and has been living on it with his family ever since. However, recently the son to the man who sold him the land has made advances to grab the land and has already fenced part of the land.
Tumeenda ofisi mingi sana kwa DO, kwa DC, mpaka tukatuma all the headquarters lands. Tukaenda karatasi yote ikatafutwa ikakosekana. Sasa tunaomba serikali tusaidie kutoka hapo. Sasa tuna uwezo wa kuendelea mpaka hapo.
In Narok County, Regional Development Principal Secretary Idris Salim Dokota has said his ministry will prioritize building bamboo cottage industries in Narok County. Dokota said bamboo farming has multiple benefits, among them mitigating effects of climate change and can be commercialized to boost the standards of livelihood.
That we must have a strong way to make sure these organizations are coordinated very well. Otherwise, if we don't regulate, as the legal counsel said, watakuja tu watatafuta appointment, ukisema nyinyi mmetoka wapi, basi wanakunywa chai na wametoroka.
Meanwhile, in Laikipia County, residents are said to benefit from 2 weeks of free orthodontic treatment organized by Future Health Africa in collaboration with the Nanyuki Referral Hospital. According to Laikipia Governor Joshua Irungu, the medical camp will also benefit patients from the counties of Meru, Nyandarua, Isiolo, Samburu and Nyeri.
Ningewaomba ya kwamba kwa sababu itaendelea wiki mbili, wale labda hawajapata hii habari ya kwamba wale wako na shida ya mifupa au wako na wamepata accidents, wamepata some deformities, waweze kukuja hapa na wataangaliwa, watafanywa screening.
Also in Kakamega, Governor Ferdinand Baraza has urged the national government to release 425 billion shillings in the next financial year as equitable share, since the proposed 380 billion shillings is not enough to run the devolved functions.
Tumenunua madawa worth 130 million shillings for all our 12 level 4 hospitals. Na leo tumekuja hapa Lugari ambayo tuko na Lumakanda na Matete sub-county level 4 hospitals.
And in Naivasha, the county government has moved in to resolve a row surrounding the construction of a hospital on a private land following demolition of the multi-million health facility in Kinamba Trading Center. According to the Assistant County Commissioner, the state has formed a 14-member committee to help resolve the 8-year row.
So tumekubaliana kwamba tutakuwa na mkutano kutokea Wednesday na kamati ndogo ili tuone vile tutaresolve zile differences zimekuwa hapa. Ukweli ni kwamba wananchi hawakatai dispensary ama health facility, lakini wanasema wangependa ikiwekwa hapo wawe pia ni sehemu ya hiyo dispensary.
In Meru County, more than 60 students who scored above 350 marks in last year's KCPE are expected to join high school and benefit from some school equipments courtesy of Solution Sacco.
So I always tell students, don't think here, think beyond your nose. Your life is not here. Your life is in there.
Reporting for Prime Edition, I'm Alvin Kaunda.
Cancer is a leading cause of death in Kenya with significant physical, social and economic consequences. The National Cancer Institute of Kenya, together with its stakeholders, will hold the National Cancer Summit from 2nd to 3rd February 2023 at Safari Park Hotel, Nairobi. The goal of the summit is to take stock of the cancer response in Kenya and to inspire accelerated collective action across all sectors. The event will be live on KBC Channel 1. In addition, the National Cancer Institute invites members of the public for free cancer screening and other government services at Kasarani Primary School from 2nd to 4th February 2023.
This week on Tech, we tell you how legal meets tech.
Our application is called Legal Tech Services. It's a web-based application, and what it does is allow for the exchange of legal services.
In tech news, e-insurance startup bags 1.2 billion in Series A drive, and internationally, Elon Musk presents Optimus. This is a humanoid robot. More details in our tech news roundup.
Join me, Stephanie Ayeta and Grace Gedaiga, as we serve you with only the best tech updates the world over.
Take on Tech every Monday at 10:30 p.m. on KBC Channel 1. Stay tuned.
Very willing to try and make a life with you, to live together.
Yes, but this isn't the right moment.
Can you see this house? This was the one that burned down.
Well, you see, the truth is I don't remember things well.
Nanny, how can you say that you don't remember? Come on.
My dear, so many years have gone by.
Come on.
What I mean to say is he knows something. Because I don't like to tell anyone, no one, even him, what I'm planning to do with my life.
It would be better if you tell me. It's just this woman never wanted to negotiate with you, boss.
Yes, but everything in life has a price, Matakan.
But I'm not a man who's wishy-washy. I also don't want you to see me as a jerk because I precisely don't want you to suffer.
Welcome back. I'm sitting in for the birthday girl, Betty Kiptum. Let's go straight into the business. And Central Bank of Kenya Governor Dr. Patrick Njoroge is optimistic that dollar inflows from the World Bank as well as the IMF will lift Kenya's forex reserves above the recommended level of 4 months of import cover. Since November of last year, the forex reserves at the bank have been lower than the recommended ceiling.
There have been concerns about the stock of forex at the central bank. A statement from the Monetary Policy Committee yesterday indicated that Kenya's forex reserves had deteriorated for the second time in a row and was below the recommended 4 months of import cover. The central bank currently has $7.005 billion in forex reserves, which is 3.92 months of import cover, down from $7.038 billion, representing 3.94 months of import cover in November last year. However, central bank governor says there's no cause for alarm yet.
We don't have any concerns there. We do expect that the cover will increase, and the reserves that we are holding remain adequate.
He says Kenya is expecting dollar inflows, which will lift the import cover above the recommended 4-month cover.
We also are looking at it looking forward, which is expected inflows that will be coming, and we have this programmed in our into the future. World Bank, there's amounts like 400 million US. The IMF will be coming again for a review, and once that review is completed, long before end June, we expect 300 million US, the equivalent of that, and also other external loans that have been discussed.
He projects the economy to expand 5.6% this year, supported by the services sector and recovery in the agriculture sector that had 2 bad years, with good rains and distribution of subsidized fertilizer.
It will decline by 0.3%, so minus 0. Our agriculture has therefore being sagging, and we do expect that there will be a rebound if we have normal conditions. So we are not hoping for floods and things like that, but having normal rainfall conditions in 2023, particularly the long rains.
Rice and sugar for 6 months will ease shortages, avert a food crisis, and reduce pressure on commodity prices.
Maize, what has been gazetted is like 27% of annual consumption, and rice is about 39% of annual consumption, and sugar is about 13% of annual consumption. So I'm making the point that this will actually have will assert a downward pressure on prices, but more generally on food inflation.
Wairi Mujenga for Prime Edition.
Government is inviting investors to lease 4,000 acres in special economic zones with priority given to local investors. The Ministry of Trade has so far opened up 3,000 acres in Dongo Kundu and 1,000 acres in the Naivasha Special Economic Zone in a bid to boost exports by 20% over the next 2 years.
Exports currently account for 10% of the gross domestic product, while manufacturing makes up for only 7%. The Ministry of Trade plans to boost these numbers to 30% and 20% by 2025 and 2030 respectively. The Ministry of Investments, Trade and Industry has narrowed down on various strategic sectors in the 2 special economic zones for investors, with plans underway to kick off the Dongo Kundu Special Economic Zone by July this year. The leasing openings announced will focus on agro-processing, pharmaceuticals, the textile industry, green energy, and steel, among many others. This comes as the Trade Cabinet Secretary, Moses Kuria, has expressed the need to revitalize authorities that are responsible for oversighting export trade, with shake-ups expected at the Kenya Export Promotion and Branding Agency. Hibak Said for Prime Edition.
The Capital Markets Authority has licensed 4 coffee brokers, bringing to 10 the total number of authorized coffee brokers. This is part of efforts by the regulator to deepen coffee trading and enhance transparency to the benefit of farmers.
The licensing of coffee brokers by the Capital Markets Authority is being done under the Capital Markets Coffee Exchange Regulations of 2020. So far, the Capital Markets Authority has licensed 6 coffee brokers. They are United Eastern Kenya Coffee Marketing Company, Meru County Coffee Marketing Agency Limited, Kipkelion Brokerage Company Limited, Mount Elgon Coffee Marketing Agency, Murang'a County Coffee Dealers Limited, and Embu Coffee Farmers Marketing Agency Limited. And today, the market regulator announced that it has licensed 4 more coffee brokers. It says Kenya Coffee Marketing Agency has been granted full licensing operations, while Kiambu Coffee Marketing Company Limited, Bungoma Union Marketing Agency Limited, and Meru South Coffee Marketing Company Limited have been granted in-principle approvals for 6 months. The Capital Markets Authority has directed the Nairobi Coffee Exchange to immediately admit the new brokers to the trading floor. The authority further says it has extended the approval granted to the Nairobi Coffee Exchange to continue operating as a coffee exchange for 4 months until end of April this year, to give room for transition and progression towards full compliance with the new coffee exchange regulations. The Capital Markets Authority Chief Executive Officer Wycliffe Shamia says today's announcements are meant to ensure that the momentum of the reform agenda needs to be sustained to ensure full implementation of the coffee exchange regulations. Ndutamo Kami for Prime Edition.
Kenya is seeking $2.8 billion from the African Development Bank and other development partners to increase smart agriculture production over the next 5 years. Africa Development Bank Regional Agriculture Manager Pascal Sanginga says Kenya is seeking funding to be channeled in 4 agricultural value chains.
Kenya is among sub-Saharan countries that are set to receive $10 billion from the African Development Bank to mitigate the effects of drought that has negatively affected agricultural production. Kenya is seeking 348.5 billion shillings over the next 5 years to increase production of maize, sorghum, and livestock.
The compact for Kenya has a value of about $2.8 billion over 5 years. That's the compact for Kenya, focusing on basically 4 key commodities.
For the last 2 years, some of the sinakuwa akukuangi na chakula. Tunapanda na inakauka. Tunapanda na inaenda.
This is in addition to 8.7 billion shillings emergency facility that the African Development Bank says is ready for disbursement to small-scale farmers to access certified seeds and fertilizer.
But here in Kenya, we have actually a program that we funded, what they call the Africa Emergency Food Production Facility, which is about $7 million. To basically provide inputs, fertilizer, and seed to small-scale farmers.
The financier is seeking to increase investments in the agriculture supply chain to reduce the continent's food import bill.
What is expensive is not investing in climate-smart agriculture, because what are the costs if not investing in climate-smart agriculture on an annual basis for the whole of sub-Saharan Africa? $200 billion a year.
However, post-harvest losses are a key challenge, with most countries losing about 30% of their agricultural produce. Benson Rioba reporting for Prime Edition.
A section of legislators are calling for tax breaks for the local tea value chain to make the produce competitive. The MPs say that they will push for the tea bill amendment of 2020 to anchor the tea subsector tax holidays in law.
Some tea factories in the west of the Rift Valley have been issuing instructions to have their tea sold below the set $2.43 minimum price to attract buyers. This is after traders shun the tea, opting to purchase cheap tea from neighboring countries. A section of legislators now want the government to consider waiving some taxes to lower the cost of producing local tea.
We are collectively going to lobby the executive and the presidency so that we can all agree on a better taxing regime that is going to accommodate more of local value addition and accommodate more players in the industry to create more jobs and to improve the competitiveness of the tea that is going to be available in the market.
It is obvious now that the market is more responsive to packaged tea more than the bulk tea that we export from the auction. That, among others, will form a level ground where we will start the fight to help our farmers and to help our country to earn more.
We are going to ensure that the government is not an impediment to value addition of our cash crops.
The legislators have vowed to lobby for amendments to the Tea Bill of 2020 and the tea regulations to protect farmers from market volatility.
It is our duty to make sure that we seal those loopholes, and we are going to make sure that the Senate bill that was mutilated is revisited. Yes. And issues that really oppress our farmers and oppress the stakeholders are reviewed collectively.
The East African Tea Trade Association wants the government to sign more bilateral deals to secure additional market for Kenyan products such as tea.
If we can be able to enter some of these other trading blocks, we will be able to penetrate other markets. If two countries can come together and say, we will buy your wheat, you buy our tea. Those kind of trade agreements are very good and beneficial. There's a lot of things that we can buy from other countries and offer them tea in exchange.
Those in the tea value chain think this will be a tough year for Kenyan tea due to drought in some tea growing areas and financial turmoil in Egypt and Pakistan, which account for about 60% of Kenya's tea exports. Juni Karisa Mbele from Mombasa County.
Well, the government is urging farmers in Tana River County to bring their produce to the multi-million Galole Integrated Food Processing Factory. The factory was set up by the Coast Development Authority in 2014 but has not been fully utilized.
The Coast Development Authority set up the Galole Integrated Fruit Processing Factory that adds value to, among other fruits, mangoes, in a move that was geared towards creating employment, higher income, and general revenue for Tana River County. The factory was set up in 2014. Local farmers are yet to embrace the factory to full capacity. The government is urging the locals to sell their mangoes to the factory for processing.
Mimi nina hakika maembe yote ya Tana River yangekuwa niletwa hapa. Mtambo hata mitambo 10 kama ikijengwa haitoshi. Kwa hivyo nyinyi mkitaka mutambulike na serikali, maembe yenu yaleteni hapa, maana hichi ni kiwanda ambacho kinatambulika na serikali. Ili na nyinyi kesho mkija kudai ile haki yenu, ile share yenu.
The factory has been sourcing fruits from neighboring counties of Lamu, Kilifi, Kwale and Garissa. He further urged farmers to sell to the processing plant instead of to brokers who have infiltrated the market, offering instant cash and exploiting them.
We really have to sensitize the farmers so that we can make this factory work. This factory is supposed to serve the mango farmers in the 4 counties of Kenya: Garissa, Tana River, Lamu, and Kilifi. Therefore, we expect the farmers to bring their produce here so that we can caution them against any post-harvest loss.
Masai wamezoeshwa na wale wachuzi wa nje ya kwamba akija ananunua na cash, anachukua cash, achukue embe. So hii imeleta tatizo kwetu sisi na CDA, lakini kuna some areas wameanza kidogo kurekebisha, mipango kidogo inaenda vizuri.
The 100 million shillings facility has been expanded to start processing pineapples, passion fruits and bottled water to tap its capacity.
Nimesahau kucheza Loto Moto. Usisahau kucheza Loto Moto. Shinda milioni 2 kila siku kwenye M-Pesa. Chagua lipa na M-Pesa. Paybill number 757070. Account number andika neno Loto. Kisha weka star na nambari yako ya simu. Weka kiwango chochote cha pesa kuanzia shilingi 50 hadi 2000.
Aulali.
Lipa kisha subiri draw. Welala. Nitakutimizia ndoto zako. Milioni 2 usiamini. Ujumbe huu umeidhinishwa na BCLB.
It's the DFB Pokals round of 16. Mainz against Bayern. Musiala, he's dug it out beautifully.
And he's seeded back in. Alexander Herk.
One Bundesliga side has to go out. Mainz have never reached the final. Bayern have been there more than any other side. And Kimmich! A crisp finish. Only one side can go through. It's going to be a tough fight.
Well, Karen Kibet is on set to bring us the very latest in the world of sports, and I believe she'll start us off with the game Kabaddi, which originated almost 4,000 years ago in a place in India known as Tamil Nadu.
You have done your research quite well, or is it because you lived in India for quite some time?
Both.
Both. Well, I'll take it away. It's now time for us to delve into sports matters. My name is Karen Kibet, and we begin with Kabaddi. TAK Kabaddi Club beat Kenyatta University Hawks 79-45 in their opening match of the Elite Kabaddi Men's League that kicked off today at Moi International Sports Center in Kasarani Gymnasium.
TAK dominated their opponents from the onset, winning all 8 sets convincingly to bag their first win in the 12-team league being played on a round robin.
We have big future plans of playing in the Pro Kabaddi, as most players have been going to Pro Kabaddi to play in the leagues in India. So as a team, we have got those plans.
In another result, Administration Police narrowly won against Kiambu Plackers after registering a 52-48 victory, while JKUAT Assassins recorded a 65-36 victory over Machakos University. The overall winner of the month-long tournament, which culminates on the 28th of next month, will be awarded cash prizes and trophies. 2 bottom-placed sides will be relegated, while 2 other sides will gain promotion to feature in the second leg of the Elite Championship. The second leg is expected to be held in May. The league is being used to select a national team that will participate in the forthcoming International Kabaddi Championship, set to be held in March in Bangladesh.
It's been a journey. We've walked this journey for a long time. It's now 7 years of this journey, and we've not able to achieve this. My players have really waited for such a big day for them, and I'm happy today that even if I walk out of this federation, my players have something to brag and something to remember me.
Nora Mwangi for Prime Edition.
Thank you, Nora, for that report. Moving on, Basketball Charity Giants of Africa has announced their plan to celebrate their 20th anniversary in Africa. The organization will bring together over 250 youths from 16 countries across Africa to Kigali, Rwanda, for a week-long celebration of basketball, education, culture, and entertainment in August 2023.
Co-founded in 2003 by Toronto Raptors president Masai Ujiri, Giants of Africa use basketball as a means of educating and improving the lives of African children by investing in basketball facilities, training camps and clinics. They have a presence in 17 countries including Kenya, where courts in Dagoretti High School and Kayoles Diwopa have been built and rehabilitated. This year they will celebrate 20 years of existence by inviting 250 youth to Rwanda for the inaugural Giants of Africa Festival. The event will have basketball clinics and tournaments, plus education on leadership, female empowerment, turning ideas into action, professional development, and investing in yourself and your community. The festival will take place from 13th to 19th of August.
Thank you, Barkley, for that report. And finally, Leeds FC beat Dandora All Saints 1-0 to qualify for the final of this year's Kothbero Soccer Tournament in an entertaining semi-final duel played on Tuesday at Umeme Grounds in Ziwani, right here in Nairobi. Following the win, Leeds FC, who have not conceded a goal nor lost a match, will battle Korogez FC in the final slated for Saturday, February 4th at Umeme Grounds. Emmanuel scored the all-important goal in the first half to seal the second successive final slot for his side. Koroges qualified on Monday after edging out Isili South United 2-1. The 45th edition of the tournament that gives a platform to budding soccer talents attracted a total of 50 teams.
Wamekuwa part of the tournament, volunteers, good from the people. At least pull through na tournament inaenda kuisha. Na vile nimesema imekuwa interesting sana, especially debutants. Timu inaitwa Koroges, hiyo timu ya Kikomba, ni Mitumba Traders. Kama vile watu wanasemaga talent kwa mashinani. As a former player naweza sema watu wanajua ball, wameacha ball, watu kuna bidii wanacheza ball. Tournament imekuwa successful as organizers, haijakuwa easy lakini hakuna kitu rahisi. Since nilikuwa nimesema hivi, tournament ukiorganize unasahau mambo ya do juu ni football ndio ichezwe, do inakuja baadaye.
And those are all the sports stories we had for you tonight. My name is Karen Kibet. But before I sign out, I'd love to wish my fellow colleague and anchor Betty Kiptum a happy birthday. 16 again. Happy birthday. I know you are not here tonight, but may God bless you and may He keep sustaining you. Uncle Tom, I know you have something to add on to that.
To add on to that, how did you know?
You must wish Betty Kiptum a happy birthday.
You must be studying psychology. Listen, I think, personally, I think she's turned 18.
18 or 16?
No, 18.
Okay, 18.
With a few years of experience.
Betty, we wish you a happy birthday, Betty Kiptum. We will see you tomorrow right here in studio.
That's right. That's an order.
She must be here.
From Marakwet.
Yes.
Okay. Marakwet, thank you. Thank you for that update. Let me thank you on behalf of the entire team for watching Prime Edition. We will be back again next week on Monday and Tuesday. At least for me, Marakwet is coming back tomorrow with the Prime Edition team. So thank you for watching. My name is Tom Boya, and good night from Nairobi, Kenya. Bye-bye.
Kupata Waibrania kama sikiza tune yako, bonyeza *811 *817#.
Yesu Kristo ni yule yule, jana, leo na hata milele. Wahibrania 13:8.
Kupata Waibrania, bonyeza *811 *817#. *811 *817#.
Unclaimed financial assets include bank accounts, insurance policies, and other financial assets belonging to people just like you. Don't let your assets remain unclaimed. Take a few minutes to check and see if you have any unclaimed financial assets. www.ufaa.go.ke, dial *361# or visit Huduma Center near you. Labda umeomoka na ujui? The Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. Receive, safeguard, reunite.
Let's
What's up, everybody? How are you doing? We have finally come to the end of January, as some of you call it.
Absolutely, man. And time is really flying, Miss V. Just the other day, tulikuwa December 2022.
Sherehes every day.
Saizi January, man. 2023 down, manze. Hey.
How has it been for you, your January?
Man, January imekuwa dope kabisa. Mambwembe kama kawaida. I'm proud. Naona, events zina come through.
Yeah, they're back.
Back to
we
back.
Love it.
Oga Obin up here, they're beefing now.
Oh, man.
Boy, man. Hey, this guy.
Zimeanza very early.
Hey,
Anyway, guys, let us know how your January came along. Have you started actualizing your resolutions? We would love to know. Jack Muller, Vivian Dago across all social media platforms or KBC Channel 1. Let's get this show on the road. My name is Miss V.
Jack Muller, the party daddy, or you can call me Papi. You already know what it is.
And
man.
You know what this right here is?
Grapevine, baby.
What you gotta do? Hey, me. You already know we love a good party, and for that reason, we are here at the KCA Absa grounds for just that. A picnic is going on, like a picnic, but a picnic. That's why I'm in pink. You gotta stick to the dress code now. Revelers are out here ready to have nothing but a good time, and we are here to cover it for you and let you know how it went down. Situinge.
We have come to the last day of January, and one way to bid goodbye to the first month of the year is by converging with friends and getting to interact with new ones over some music and dance. The KCA Absa grounds was the venue for a party dubbed Mixed Berries Picnic that happened over the weekend. Revelers got to experience fashion, arts, music, and dance.
Tell your body good on it, I'm me. Hey, fit for me, watch it up for me. Hey, this something so tight, it a grab me. Hey, anything me say you dig, godly. You bend down, I bend down. What? You bend down, I bend down. You bend down, I bend down. You bend down.
Good and immaculate vibes was the order of the day. The DJ's set kept everyone on their feet, showing out their favorite moves. Time for the artists came, and they did not disappoint. The talented Miss Karun, former member of Camp Mula, aced her set with a fire performance. Zemani's hitmaker Chris Kaiga got on stage with his hype man, and they surely did justice to the songs as those in attendance vibed along to each one of them. Time for BN of Sauti Sol came, and from the minute he stepped on stage, the crowd loved on him. He sang the Baldman anthem as well as other Sauti Sol songs before his wife Chiki joined him on stage to dance along to his viral song, Inauma. Guys did come out for a good time, and that is exactly what they got.
Don't know how I feel today. I just wish I was on that stage today because the crowd was amazing. I just wish I was there on that stage. I could have mashed it to top, manze.
I really love how the musicians presented and everything about the event was beautiful.
It's picnic. What do you expect? We have to come out and CBN. Oh my God, I'm so fangirling right now. I swear to God.
All right, what an amazing event to end the month of January, man. Yeah, away from that, we prepared a special feature on My French Film Fest, manze, yeah? The 13th edition is here and it is big and better, man. Let's check it out.
The online French language film festival, My French Film Festival, is back. All films will be subtitled in 12 languages, and for the first time, they will also be subtitled in Arabic, Mandarin, Chinese, and Ukrainian.
Faut pas trop s'en faire. Faut pas laisser des centaines de bagnoles coincées comme ça au milieu de la forêt s'ils pensent qu'il y a un risque.
En tout état de cause, il ne faut jamais quitter son véhicule.
My French Film Festival will be entirely free in Africa, Latin America, Southeast Asia, South Korea, Poland, Romania, Russia, and Ukraine. The festival was the first fully online festival to appear in France.
Il est très timide. Ça veut dire qu'il va falloir que je fasse le premier pas.
Mon frère, je te dois la vérité. Je vois clair dans ton jeu, mon pauvre ami. Ce que tu veux, c'est mon argent. J'ai pas tout compris. Ça ne fait rien. Au bord de la mer.
Since 2019, the festival has exceeded 10 million film views every year.
C'est bien ça. Les mecs, c'est des cons. Tu passes le bac cette année?
Arrêtez tous de me faire chier avec ça, là.
Tu veux travailler au café comme ta mère?
Jamais.
Bah pourquoi?
Qu'est-ce que t'aimes bien faire après l'école? Je fais de la danse. Super, quel genre de danse? Enfin, devant la télé, chez moi, quoi.
In 2021, it reached 13 million, with the COVID pandemic driving people to the platforms.
Ok, dans la tête, toujours les mêmes délires, les mêmes choses.
Personne n'est parfait.
Alors, je m'appelle Sabine Berlière, je suis psychiatre.
Je serais contente à votre place.
The festival is also a competition. The grand prize of the jury and the International Press Awards will be revealed on 10th February 2023.
C'est extrêmement important, les voitures restent les meilleures de protection.
Il n'y a pas beaucoup de temps, Simon. T'es copain la forêt.
Allô? Papa?
Je suis perdu.
The Audience Award will be announced at the end of the festival. Fans of French and Francophone cinema can enjoy 29 features and short films on 70 partner platforms, including some that are unreleased in many countries.
Surtout ne touchez à rien. Vous faites disparaître ma clientèle et vous voudriez que je vous paye pour votre spectacle. Bravo! Vive les artistes!
The festival will run up to the 13th of February.
Tu veux quoi pour ton anniv? Rien. Rien, ça coûte pas cher.
Yo, man, remember to catch Grapevine every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Mama Niaje, showtime. Right about now, we are taking a quick break. See you right back.
What you gotta do.
Stop searching in wrong places. Billions in unclaimed cash and other assets are here for you. Unclaimed financial assets include bank accounts, insurance policies, and other financial assets belonging to people just like you. Don't let your assets remain unclaimed. Take a few minutes to check and see if you have any unclaimed financial assets. Claiming your assets is easy. Simply visit www.ufaa.go.ke, dial *361# or visit Huduma Center near you. Labda umeomoka na ujui? The Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. Receive, safeguard, reunite.
Vivian, actually, Mr. Bai.
No worries. I got this.
Print these documents and get them to Mr. Bai. I have an interview.
Why don't you do it yourself?
Also,
Yes?
yesterday afternoon, let's just put that behind us.
It's like he's a totally different person today.
Are you dumb or what?
What?
Will you do everything they say? Have you eaten yet?
No, I'm not that hungry. I'm managing.
As the head editor here, I personally invite you.
Okay.
He said yes.
Yeah.
He's going? Okay.
It's the DFB Pokals round of 16. Mainz against Bayern.
Musiala, he's dug it out beautifully.
And he's seeded back in. Alexander Herk. One Bundesliga side has to go out. Mainz have never reached the final. Bayern have been there more than any other side.
And Kimmich! A crisp finish.
Only one side can go through. It's going to be a tough fight.
Welcome back to the show. In case you're just tuning in, this is Grapevine. Now let me take you directly into the trends, and I want to begin with Nika the Queen. Now Nika the Queen claims that Emma Jalamo has been disturbing her. The famous Ohangla hitmaker has been disturbing her. He's making advances, he's calling her during odd hours and is disturbing the relationship that Nika has. The peace in the relationship is being disturbed by Emma Jalamo. Apparently Emma Jalamo sent her 200,000 Kenyan shillings, which Nika returned to this guy because, why are you sending me this money? I do not want you. Well, Nika also posted a photo on her Instagram account where Emma Jalamo was in handcuffs. And I'm just like, bro, sim drop to ingoma. Singoma to drop you bila makasheshe mingi mingi. Because I know for sure, this is a song that is coming out soon. You will tell me after it comes out. On to our next story now. Otile Brown has put out a post mentioning that his next song, or rather he's going to put out a song on black tax, and this story will be a true story inspired by a friend of his, because he claims that, you know what, people are really getting other people into so much pressure, unnecessary pressure to be precise, because of the black tax. If you guys know about black tax, this is money that maybe your family member feels like they are obliged to receive from you simply because you are more successful than them, even when you really don't have to send this money. Otile Brown also spoke to parents, letting them know that they should stop doing that because it's kind of blackmailing your child and you could get them into depression. He feels, he seems so passionate about this story. I feel like truly this friend of his inspired this particular move. Okay, now you guys have seen the amazing event that I was at the Absa grounds, that is Picnic, and Bien killed it. I mean, I loved his performance. His wife got on stage kidogo, lakini before this performance, something had happened backstage. I don't know if you guys have seen this particular clip, but I just feel I want to talk about it kidogo too, you know. So there was a clip that was shared on some of the gossip pages on social media where Chiki Kuruka is seen telling a girl off because this girl was just all over BN. You know, and Chiki is like, yo, don't you know this man is married to me in specific? Well, it looked kind of, it was just funny to watch. And I was like, yes, you should respect people's husbands. Draw the boundaries. Hata kama we ni fan, vitu zingine lenga. Now, listen to this story. I know that it is going to affect so many people, right? Now, the Supreme Court has ruled that in case of a divorce, each individual partner lives with whatever they acquired in this relationship individually. You know, previously it used to be equal sharing, so uliingia hapo huku contribute anything. But when you guys have a divorce, now you share the property equally. But what unto you? What unto you? I don't know. Well, I don't want to say much about this because nimeona online it is really bringing some emotions that are really deep emotions. Watu wamekasirika wengine, mostly ladies. I don't know why, but anywho, what unto you? Ukiingia kwa relationship, huyu akinunua TV, we nunua fridge. Huyu akinunua, we nunua hii. Kifika huku medhoka, at least usitoke bure. That's my take. Let's cross borders to Tanzania, where Tanzania's talented artist Mario just dropped his album and actually had a big launch. It was filled to the brim. I mean, so many people were there, the who's who were there. The album is known as The Kid You Know, and this particular album, wow, it was so nice. The performances were amazing. Nandi joined him on stage to perform the song they did together. It was so beautiful. I also saw Moya David going there to surprise Mario. It was a beautiful one. I feel like we should listen to these songs and support him as well.
What can I do? Baby, I'm gonna let you go, and I want you more. Whoa, baby. Hey. What can I do? Baby, I'm gonna let you go, and I want you more. When time comes.
What it is, Wagwan, beautiful people, man. When was the last time you heard some good traditional music? All right, man, Alliance Francaise got you covered. And remember, it's 2023, manze. Kenge Ruto system all the way from the lakeside. Wako hapa Alliance, manze, just to entertain you guys. So I don't want to waste your time. Twende kazi. Yamani aje.
Last Wednesday, the Alliance Francaise Nairobi held their monthly edition of Showcase Wednesday. The guest artists were none other than Kenge Ruto system. Kenge, whose name means a fusion of small, exhilarating instruments, started life as the backing band for a government-sponsored Kenyan choir. During the 1990s, they broke away from the choir and became an independent entity, a neo-traditional group of dedicated musicians. The ensemble uses such instruments as the Ruto, a 1-string fiddle, nyatiti, an 8-string lyre, oporo, a cow horn, and asili, an end-blown flute. They symbolize all that is great about African traditional music. They are the guardians and masters of an ancient but living tradition. They breathe new life into Kenya's Luo musical roots, continuing its evolution from the handmade instruments of the past through the popular guitar-based benga, and now returning to both re-explore the acoustic origins of benga and embrace their Luo musical heritage. Well, as they say, invite kenge kenge and leave the rest to them. They will automatically get you on the dance floor.
I enjoyed all of them. I enjoyed the dancing, I enjoyed the instrumentals. I thought it really went along with like the music and the vibe of the crowd. When it comes to good music, there isn't any barrier regardless of whether I understood the language or not. Good music is good music.
Imekuwa interaction of all the races, nimeona wazungu hapa na music pia nimeona the instruments wise actually orutu na wandende zote zimetumika hapo, which it's been also very nice. The last song really caught my attention. Yeah, the Kenge Kenge one. It's I think it's an old time hit. Kenge Kenge. My name is George Achieng Odero. I'm the band leader of Kenge Kenge Ruto System. It's our first time to perform here as a band. I hope we'll do another one bigger when maybe Maaga's there, when people are now school fee, everything.
This was my best experience. I was just telling her that like it was a good experience for me. I feel good, I feel happy, like I feel like
Kenge Kenge Jimiela. Kenge Kenge Jimiela.
Adi Kenge Kenge dance
Miondoka imeshika, man. Big shout out to this band, man. Uli watch performance.
Yeah, I loved it. You know I love me some Ohangla, some Benga. I love those songs.
For real, for real?
Yes.
Huh? Nani anakupeleka hizi classes zako hizi?
Seriously, maswali mengi, bro. Relax. Anywho, guys, we have come to the end of the show. Thank you so much for keeping us company. We always appreciate you. But before we leave you guys, we're leaving you with a nice, beautiful, inspiring song from the one and only Diamond Platnumz.
Hey, man. This one is dope. This one is dope, man. Yeah.
Just to give you hope that, you know, whatever it is that you're going through, yatapita, that'll come to pass.
Emotional song, eh?
Nothing lasts forever.
Kama kawaida, feel free like a boss and a pale YouTube support East African music. My
name is Vivian Dago. You can simply just call me Miss V.
Jack Mula the Pachi Daddy, or you can call me Papi. You already know what it is.
And you know what they say. Lango jango useme your girlfriend got my number, but haikuji ulitoa.
Cheza chini kidogo.
Anyway, guys, you know what they say. If you did not see it on Grapevine,
then it must probably never happen. Adios.